Naples, Italy, sometime in the 1760s. Smoke curls from wood-fired ovens tucked into narrow alleys. Dockworkers, fishermen, and street vendors need food that's fast and cheap. Someone flattens dough into a round. They blister it in the heat of the oven. They top it with tomato, a scrape of cheese, whatever scraps are on hand. They fold it once and eat it standing in the street. No plates, no forks, just hands and hunger. Visiting aristocrats are horrified. They call it food fit only for beggars. Nobody baking that bread thinks they're making history. They just want something hot before the sun goes down. This scrappy street snack would eventually earn UNESCO recognition. It would build a global industry worth over $100 billion a year. So how does a poor man's flatbread conquer the entire planet? The answer runs through a fruit once feared as poison, a king's hungry queen, a devastating war, and millions of immigrants chasing a new life. The story starts long before Naples. Flatbreads with toppings go back thousands of years. Ancient Egyptians baked flat loaves. Greeks topped bread with oil, herbs, and cheese. Romans had something similar called placenta. None of this is pizza yet. The missing piece hasn't arrived from across an ocean. That piece is the tomato. Spanish conquistadors bring it back from the Americas in the 1500s. Europeans are deeply suspicious. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family. Nightshades were known killers. Wealthy Europeans eat off pewter plates. The acid in tomatoes leaches lead from the pewter. People actually get sick. The tomato earns a nickname, poison apple.
Here's the fork in the road. The poor can't afford pewter. Naples' working class eats off simple earthenware instead. They start experimenting with tomatoes on flatbread with nothing to fear. The rich stay terrified for another 2 centuries. The next real breakthrough came when Naples' population explodes. By the late 1700s, the city holds over 400,000 people. It's one of the largest cities in Europe. Thousands live in extreme poverty, crammed into tight quarters with no real kitchens. They need cheap, portable, filling food. Street vendors, called Pizzaioli, step in. They sell flattened dough topped with tomato and sometimes small fish or cheese, straight from outdoor ovens. This is the same hunger echoing the Hook's poison apple. What once scared the wealthy now feeds an entire city. That fix created a new problem. Pizza stays a regional curiosity. Outside Naples, most Italians consider it beneath notice. For it to matter beyond one city, it needs an endorsement from the top. That endorsement arrives in 1889. King Umberto I and Queen Margherita visit Naples. The queen grows tired of formal French cuisine. She requests something local instead.
Baker Rafael Esposito answers the call. He creates 3 pizzas for her. One uses tomato, mozzarella, and basil. The colors mirror the Italian flag, red, white, and green. The queen loves it. Esposito names it Pizza Margherita in her honor. Royal approval changes everything. What was peasant food now carries a queen's blessing. Pizza spreads slowly across Italy over the next decades, but the real leap happens overseas. Italian immigrants begin arriving in America by the millions starting in the 1880s. They settle in cities like New York, Boston, and Chicago. They bring pizza with them, mostly for their own communities at first. In 1905, Gennaro Lombardi opens what's often called America's first licensed pizzeria on Spring Street in Manhattan. For decades, pizza stays a mostly Italian-American food, tucked into ethnic neighborhoods. Then, World War II changes the equation entirely. American soldiers fight through Italy between 1943 and 1945.
They eat pizza in Naples and Sicily. Many fall in love with it. When they return home, they bring the craving with them. Pizzerias start opening for a much wider American public through the late 1940s and 1950s. Chains eventually form. Frozen pizza hits supermarket freezers. What began in narrow Neapolitan alleys is now reaching suburban kitchens nationwide. The fork widens further here. Regional American styles emerge and diverge hard. Chicago goes deep dish. New York stays thin and foldable. Detroit bakes it in steel pans built for auto parts. By the late 20th century, pizza is no longer Italian food abroad. It's simply food, claimed by nearly every culture that touches it. Japan tops it with squid and mayonnaise. Brazil adds green peas. Sweden puts banana and curry on it. In 2017, UNESCO adds Neapolitan pizza making to its list of intangible cultural heritage. The same street snack aristocrats once mocked now sits alongside opera and calligraphy as something worth protecting. Today, the global pizza industry pulls in over $100 billion a year. Millions of pies get sold every single day. So, what kind of story is this, really? It isn't one invention or one genius. It's an accumulation. A feared fruit. A hungry city. A queen's approval. A war that sent men home changed. Each piece stacked onto the last, the way dough gets stretched a little further each time. That poison apple from the hook became the most beloved topping on earth. Peasant food built an empire.